Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey guys, welcome to the Oracle of Lilith. My name is Amy, and today I'm doing an Oracle of the Day. We're going to find out what's up with the energy, what's going on, what's the vibe. Just kind of want to get a feel for what's going on the next few days. All right, let's get some cards here. I'm going to get 3 cards. I'm going to get the top, the middle, which is this one, and the bottom. Now keep in mind this is a general reading. It's a general session, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Okay, we have Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time and nature. Well, in America, it is summer, so I hope you guys are able to get out and enjoy some nature. I think it's really important, especially right now. The energy, these cards are just so beautiful. The energy on the planet is just it's kind of weird because for a while, it was so active and it feels like it's kind of lulled. And now it just feels like crazy information is coming out, like just causing us to reflect. And I feel like that's kind of like what this time's about. Like an energetic pause for reflection, to slow down time and nature. Time and nature a lot of times helps us transmute. As we're reflecting, it helps us transmute the energies that we're reflecting, like the awarenesses that come up in our mind that make us uncomfortable, or we become aware of the energies that we need to work on, like anger or sorrow, or how to deal with certain ideas or concepts about self or our lives. And being out in nature many times will give us a new perspective. We have Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Okay, I know that a lot of people right now probably aren't feeling very safe. They're not feeling this energy of protection and trust, because so much is being revealed. Some of it's, how much of it is true or not, who knows? But our foundations as a society are being called into question. The things and the structures and foundations we have been called to depend on, we're finding a lot of issues. We're seeing the cracks in our own systems that we've built. Perceptive. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. Yeah. Perception is important. And I got to tell you, the weird energy that we're in can become an annoying distraction from your own issues in your life, like your own work, what's really important on your journey. Because yes, we are part of a whole, but we're each having our own individual experiences. And if we get lost in the madness of what's going on in the world and we don't focus on our individual journeys, we can really get led into a kind of a whole other journey of a dark night of the soul. And I feel like many of us aren't meant to re-enter a dark night of the soul right now. We're meant to rise to help those who are re-entering one now, because some people are. But it feels like there is like an element within the human collective that are being called to get perspective, because we've already done this part. We have been awake. So it's almost like we are graduating from middle school to high school, or high school to college kind of thing. Like we're moving on to the next level to help those that are now going through what we just went through, right? That kind of thing. So a lot of people will lose their perspective. They will get overwhelmed by this. They will be having crisis about, really deep existential crisis about their own existence. And, it goes deep, right? if you've had a dark night of the soul, you know how deep it can go. And it's really important that that part of the collective see the other part moving forward. And I'm not saying that you have to do this for other people. You do it for yourself. You do it because you know in part of your being that you've already done this part. I've already done this part. Okay, I don't need to do this again. You know, I know what it's like. I can tell you how bleak it can get. I can tell you that once you're willing, it's almost like the universe asks you, are you willing to sit with the idea that everything that you ever thought was true about the world and about yourself was a lie? Are you willing to look at the structures you've lived in, the people who've been in your life, and understand that your perspective of them has been skewed and you were not seeing the truth? Are you willing to let go of old paradigms so that you can move into the new? And I'm getting a picture of what I call the white room, a jump room. It's where I go during the dark night of the soul. What happens to me is I end up in a dark place. Like, I call it my own personal hell kind of thing. In the corners of my shadow. But where I go to as I'm moving out of the dark night and into another manifestation of my life is a white room where I haven't yet formed what that is. And that's where I sit with the ideas of the loss of what I let go of my shadow, and where I sit with the energies that I have or am transmuting so that I can begin to move into the what's to come of my life. And there are people who have never, and this is how I explain the process for me. Your process may be different. This is just how I'm breaking it down so people kind of understand what I'm talking about here. It's very hard to put into words what the dark night is, okay? But a lot of people are going to be going through it. Some of you have done many of them. They're all different. But there's a level of intensity to this one that can be life-changing. Some people will stop. They won't go as deep because for whatever reason they're not ready, and that's okay. But that element, that group of people need to see those of us who have gone through it and understand that, you know, sitting with the unknown, sitting with the not knowing is okay. There's power in opening yourself up to the possibility of things not being the way you think they are. There's power in the possibility that that really there's a lot more possible for your life than what you think. Okay. But also in that white room is sorrow because you're letting go of part of your past in many ways. It's what you know, it's what's comfortable. It's the comfortable part of the shadow. It's a lot of times it's why we don't want to come out of the shadow because it's the velvet comfortness of the darkness, of what's known. We know how it feels to wake up in sorrow. We know what it feels like to deal with our own stuff. And when that stuff is transmuted into something different, it forever changes and it's new and it's uncomfortable. And the white room can be uncomfortable. But it's okay. We need to normalize that it's okay to be in a place of not knowing, a place of being uncomfortable, a place of change. And however long you're there is okay. Your ideas can change there. One day you might think, you know, there's a God. The next day you might not. It's okay. You're figuring it out. You don't have to know everything. You're growing and changing your ideas. And here's the thing. Those deep questions that you're having about yourself, your identity, the things that you're figuring out, those decisions you make as you move through this kind of like white room experience I'm talking about, what will happen is that you'll start to sense like windows in the room possibilities, timelines. You'll start to get like inspirations and things like that that are lining you up with what could be. And then what do? You act and you go. And as you act and you go, you start to move out of that cycle of that dark night of the soul, of that death card energy. Okay. So perspective is powerful, bottom line. And changing your perspective can very much be the beginning of the dark night of the soul. It really is kind of, I would say, the meat and bones of a dark night. You change your perspective on everything. Changing your perspective is the beginning, the middle, and the end in so many ways of a dark night. You change so much about yourself. You grow so greatly through the dark night. And I feel like right now, no matter where you are on your journey, whether you're going through a dark night or you've been through one and you're just kind of in this kind of morphing, shape-shifting moment where you are continuing to shed skin, or you are coming into your own, whatever it is, I feel like it's really important to ground yourself. I think it's really important to connect to nature as you do. Sometimes we just need to like have a plant. We just need to get a fish. Sometimes we just need to have some nature around us to remind us that we are not just etheric beings, we are physical beings. And being surrounded by what is real in nature is important. We're surrounded by structures, cards, and candles and stuff, and bottles of liquid, but trees, living trees and things like that have a power all of their own, and they're very healing. Being in nature, touching nature, putting your hands in dirt and water on growing things can be very healing. Also, nature shares chi with you, or life force. You can absolutely get a lot of healing energy from the environment. Even though we are not treating Gaia as we should, understand that the healing cycle of Gaia works as you give energy to Gaia and she heals you. She transmutes that energy for her needs. As we connect with her, we're giving energy to her, she's giving energy to us. It is a mutually beneficial relationship. Okay, but when we just take and we don't give back, and this philosophy can be applied to any mechanism, okay, with the planet, dealing with it in any way. When we just take and don't give back, it has a detrimental effect. But when we go outside and we plant something, or we just put our feet on the ground and we ground, we do some grounding work, or, we just hang out and give our energy and enjoy the beauty that is Gaia, we're giving. We're giving freely. We're connecting our energy with her. And the truth is that we are all connected to her all the time. We're just blocked from feeling it. And a lot of times we're blocked by our environment. We're blocked by, toxins and things like that. So getting out into nature is very important. And I tell people to do this all the time. And I know people get sick of hearing it, but really it should be a mantra. Nature is so important. So many of us are cut off from nature, and we're surrounded by technology, and technology isn't bad. I mean, hi, look, I'm talking to you through technology, but we really need to also understand the value and the power of connecting with nature. It really, for those of you who consider yourselves like magical beings or spiritual beings, connecting with nature can only help your magical abilities, your spiritual abilities. It will help ground you. It will also help you connect more with magical energies within herbs and crystals and dirt and water and things like that. So there's a lot to be gained. Also, when you have a lot of anxiety, when you're feeling overwhelmed, go outside and touch some ground and see how you feel. You'll be surprised, running your hands underwater can be very good for anxiety. I'm not sure why I'm bringing anxiety up all of a sudden, but it seems to be important. So some of you guys might be feeling some anxiety. Yeah, so getting some water or go touch some dirt to help yourself feel better, okay? I know for some of you guys, it's scary. The world is a scary place right now, okay? But understand you're okay. It's going to be okay. It really is. I know it doesn't feel like it to a lot of people, but it is. What's being revealed is necessary. It's necessary for our growth as a collective. As painful and as, frankly, it's horrible, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you it's not going to get a little bit more intense. It probably is, you guys, but it's necessary. That way we all know and it can't be denied anymore, okay? And then we can move on once it's all known, all right? But it's got to be known in stages. Okay, let's pull this card, and this card. Okay. Portal Keeper. We have Starseed Elemental, and we have Aether. The Seamless Unspeakable. I feel like there's a lot going on like an astral, and I can just say this from my own personal experience. I feel like for many of you, this portal keeper energy, I feel like there is new portals of consciousness opening up with this seamless unspeakable. And it feels very much like third eye activation. Look at all these colors. Look at this rainbow. Look how beautiful that is. This third eye activation, it feels like an activation of creativity. It's almost like allowing the flow of creativity to come through. I encourage you over the next few days to kind of like connect with this. So what I'm getting from Spirit is as you go outside to connect with nature, to ground, connect with your third eye, connect with your creativity, and allow it to flow. Be in receivership of this creative flow. Okay. Do not stifle it. You guys need to work with it. If you resonate with this, work with this creative flow. I feel like some of you guys are getting like a gift almost of inspiration, being more inspired in your work or your craft, whatever this is. Use this energy. I feel like this is a muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger and the more intense it's going to grow. Okay, so what a beautiful gift. Okay, so if you feel inspired, if you don't like work on something or put it somewhere, this could go away. That's what I'm saying. Okay, it's a gift, but you're going to have to actually like utilize it. It doesn't mean you have to get super obsessed about it, but it does mean that you have to put it into something. Use it to start something. You don't have to start it and complete it, but you definitely have to start it. Write it down. Get it out into a piece of paper, or start a painting, or start a writing, or start playing, or start that business, or start the research, whatever the inspiration is, okay? Because it's a gift. All right. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you. I hope this resonated. If it did, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical creatures next time. Bye, guys.